Episode 2, The Wizard Behind the Curtain. Title on screen, The December Series Day. 2, The Wizard Behind the Curtain. Script. On the outside they looked powerful, charming, confident, the center of every room. They were the one everyone quoted, the one everyone feared, the one everyone wanted approval from. But that was the show. In The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy and her friends spend the whole movie terrified of the great and powerful wizard. Flames, smoke, a giant floating head, a booming voice that shakes the room, until Toto pulls back the curtain. Behind all the sound and fury is a small, insecure man frantically pulling levers, begging, pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. That is the narcissist. The grandiose image you fell for, and the fragile, terrified person running it are not the same thing. Survivors usually meet the wizard like this. They talk about themselves nonstop, but call it being honest. They brag, but call it testimony. They dominate every conversation, then say, I am just passionate. They demand special treatment, but label it honor, loyalty, or spiritual order. You think you are meeting a king or a queen. In reality, you are being recruited as stage crew. Psychologically, narcissistic grandiosity is a defense mechanism. The big, impressive persona is built to protect a very fragile, very insecure core. Deep down, they feel small, defective, and terrified of being exposed. So they create a character that can never be questioned. Spiritually, this is the same pattern we see in King Saul. He started humble, but once he tasted power, he became obsessed with image. He built monuments to himself. He envied David. He tried to control what people saw and said about him. 1 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 30, is chilling. After being confronted for his sin, Saul says, I have sinned, yet honor me now, please, before the elders of my people. He did not want to be clean. He wanted to look clean. That is the wizard. When you are under the spell of the wizard, you adjust yourself to fit their image. You dress how they like. You talk how they like. You laugh at jokes that are not funny. You agree with ideas that do not sit right in your spirit. You learn their rules. Do not outshine them. Do not question them in front of others. Always protect their reputation, even when they have not protected your heart. If you dare to challenge the illusion, you see the panic behind the curtain. They rage, they cry, they flip the script and call you disloyal, rebellious, unstable, or demonic. They recruit others to believe their version of you. But here is the truth they never want exposed. The wizard is not actually powerful. The power comes from your belief, your fear, your silence, your agreement to play your role in their production. The moment you start to see the difference between the image and the real person, the spell starts to break. You notice that their stories do not line up. You catch the little lies. You see how they speak differently when no one is watching. You realize that the person who calls themselves humble needs constant praise. In 2 Timothy chapter 3, Paul describes people who have a form of godliness but deny its power. It looks spiritual on the outside, but the fruit is control, manipulation, and self-worship. If you are starting to see the strings, if you have watched the mask slip, even just once, you have already stepped behind the curtain. You might still be scared. You might still be trauma bonded. You might still be financially or emotionally entangled. That is okay. Awareness always comes before escape. Today, your job is simple. Admit to yourself where you have been bowing to an image, not a person, not a partner, not a leader, an image. Ask yourself this question: if they lost their status, their title, their followers, their platform, would I still see them the same way? If the answer is no, you are not in love with them. You are in love with the wizard they built. This is day 2 of the December series, 31 days to break the shared fantasy. You are not crazy for seeing the man behind the curtain. You are courageous for not looking away. Tomorrow, we talk about the red pill moment, the day you finally say, this is not love, this is control. And once you see that, you can never unsee it.